Hello, this is Johnnie LeMaster again with a Shortstop with a Shortstop. This will be part one of an episode with Jack Farber talking about missionary work. Hey, we're here today with Jack Farber and Steve Trimble, and we're talking about missionary work, and we're so thankful that you could be here with us, Jack, and we're thankful you can be here with us, Steve. Jack, if people out here in the United States wanted to get involved in missionary work, what would Latin American Mission tell them that they needed to do?
Well, the first thing to do is to have a conversation with them over the phone, or if we know where they're at, to get a little bit about their background and things of that nature. But by and large, these are people that have a great deal for evangelism and the like, and so we really want those type of people to come in.
Oh, yeah. Can you remember the first time me and you went down there?
I do remember the first time. It was one of the most awesome experiences that I've ever had. And
I like to froze to death.
It was cold, but I'll tell you what, John. If you remember, we got on the plane there in Atlanta. We flew to Atlanta, and there was over 100 Christians with the red shirts on that for the mission, and that was an awesome experience. I was a little bit afraid about flying at times, but that was one time when I wasn't a bit afraid. There was all of us on there together. If we were going to go down, I felt real good about that situation. But it was an awesome experience. It's probably the biggest campaigns I think they'd had in a long time. And but it was cold, and there was no hot water. And I remember that in the mornings. But I'll tell you what, Johnny, we probably took 15 or so that time.
We did.
And we made a pact. Jack always told us that we had to be flexible, on these campaigns. But our little group from Paintsville Church of Christ, we made a pact that no matter what happened, we would never complain.
Right.
And everything.
I think we threatened about 4 or 5 of them within an inch of their life.
We probably did sometime when there wasn't no hot water and some other things. But we did. We decided that we were going to be happy and we're going to be thankful we were there and no complaints. And there were some situations that we had to be flexible with. And Jack, I've been, I think now I'm 5 or 6 campaigns. Jack was a leader on all 5 of them. And I always thought to myself, when did he ever sleep? When we got on the bus to go back of the evening, he would be the last person I'd see. And the next morning, he'd be the first person to hug me when I got off the bus. And so he really worked hard on these campaigns. And it was just an awesome experience every time that I went.
Now you know why you get the young bucks doing it.
That's right.
How has the coronavirus affected the medical mission trips?
I think still the overall task of all of this that transpired is yet to be understood. I know that there's going to be some good that comes out of it, but obviously it has curtailed our ability to go down for the last year and also this year as far as it goes. Now, the great thing about it, we still have good contacts with those who have gone in the past, and they're chomping at the bits to get down there to go again with John. And so it's been a change. I mean, all of us have been sitting home for the last year. So
just me personally, the Great Commission, Mark chapter 16, verses 15 and 16, when Jesus says, "Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and baptized shall be saved." I think those medical mission teams and the one that I went to Panama with you probably has changed my life more than anything. Those type of medical mission trips or any kind of campaign that you go on with Latin American Mission, it's going to change your life.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to change your thinking about the Bible, about Jesus, about teaching the lost. And I can remember one time, me and Steve was studying with a girl in Inca, and she was just as honest as she could be with us. She wanted to be baptized. but she told us blatantly and honestly,
Remember that.
she said, I still have to go out and steal in the morning to support my kids. But she knew what repentance was, and she didn't want to repent. Not that she didn't want to. We tried to get her to understand that the church would help take care of her. But those type of things really stick in your mind. But not only that, but all the people that you eventually teach that do obey the gospel, and then you go back the next year, and they're still Christians.
Oh, yeah. That's our goal, too, is in fact, it's not just going down like a one-shot thing or whatever else, but we're looking at people who realize that there's more to life than just the activities that goes on in the normalcy of living on this planet. So we try to take advantage of that and make it possible that there is something greater than us.
Absolutely.
Johnny, I can remember the first time that anybody ever went from this congregation, you went by yourself. Listen, when he came back, he was fired up. I mean, he was fired up, and he got the rest of us excited about going down. We may have took between 15 and 20 that next year, and I think it changed all of our lives and things. And I think it was a pretty tough 8 days because where we stayed at and things, but it made us appreciate what we had.
Think of all the people that we met from different congregations, the new songs that we learned, the Bible studies that was going on early in the morning until late at night. We weren't getting any rest, but
no.
And going out and watching Stanley try to drive in Inca, Peru, and watching Zach back there try to shift gears. I'm just teasing with you guys, but there's just so many memories that you come back with.
Oh,
that it gives you an appreciation for what the Great Commission is all about.
yeah, tremendously so. His first foray into this, I mean, I kind of had to go around the backside to be able to do it. I told him, I said, you ought to go down with me. And he said, well, what can I do? And whatever else. And I said, okay, here's what I got. I got a guy down there that's a young man that's playing baseball in Panama. And I'll call him and see if we can't get a couple of teams in there and you can do your thing. And
well, here it is. If you want to go to Panama, do a baseball clinic. I went down there. I worked with the younger group that morning. Jack said, well, you got to do a Devo for them. I said, okay, Jack. The older group came in later on, and he said, you got to do a Devo for them. And then after that was over, we played a game that day, and then the parents came in. Jack said, well, you got to go do a Devo for the parents. And I thought, okay, the first day I'll do the 3 Devo. Maybe tomorrow he'll do 3 Devo. For 6 solid days, I did 3 Devos a day. And he didn't even offer to help. But it was a great time. It was an absolutely great time. The preaching school in Panama.
yes.
Not to change gears here, but
Yes.
tell our audience a little bit about it. How many students there are, first year, second year, and what countries they're from.
Oh, okay. I can't remember all that thing. I'm getting old, John.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right.
Well, we have two sections. What we call the first year students and the second year students. We have 9 in one, and I believe that's the second year right now. And then we have 8 in the first ones that have just been in recently. And we have a number of them who are married and brought their wives and their children with them. It's interesting to note this year that the second group that came in were almost all singles, and I think we have 3 families that are involved in that. But I mean, we engage them in all of that as best we can. And we're always trying to find ways that we can help them to dig deeper into the Word of God. They have 58 courses that they have over a period of time. Some of those are what we call short courses, and we have different ones that go down from the states to introduce, a depth that they don't have down there yet. And so we have these guys that go and do that. And then we have the larger block, which is 6 weeks, and our staff that goes on down there, which we got 3, 4, 5 staff people that teach there, and not only the men themselves, but they also have classes for the women. Now we, in times past, of course, coronavirus has made an a problem for us as far as going down. So what we have to do is to make sure that we get as much out of that as we can, so that they can introduce them into a world that they have not known heretofore, to the depths we teach them.
I know that we were blessed, Johnny and I were, to go down there to watch a graduation one time. And you talk about a really wonderful evening, about those, so much pride in those gentlemen and their wives and families. So we got to be a part of that, and I really, really enjoyed going down there watching that. We, as a congregation here, we do a scholarship for one of the preachers there and things, so we're proud of that. And we still sponsor one of the first ones we went down. I guess that's when we did go down. We still sponsor one of the preachers that graduated that year, so we're just extremely happy about that.
Just to let you all know out there that are watching, Steve Trimble is one of the shepherds here at the Paintsville Church of Christ. We have 5. One's back there running the keyboard now. One's homesick with his daughter. The other one's in Minnesota with his mother. She's not feeling well at this time. But we talk about Paulino Choco. He's in Inca, Peru. But then there's also Ruben Chacon.
Oh, yes.
He's about 6 or 7 miles from where Paulino's at, but they married sisters.
Right.
And they have another sister that lives in Alabama, and she's a great lady too. She's gone over to Incas with us a couple of times. But Paulino is the preacher that we started out with here at the Paintsville Church of Christ, but we're still his big support. And we think he does a really good job down there.
Yes.
But all the preachers that come out of the preacher school seem to do a good job. And it's a good attestament to the teaching that they're getting while they're there.
And we have been blessed with a great staff there that works with the students, and we augment, as I mentioned to you, some of the finer guys that we have here in the States that different aspects of it come along, and so I'd go crazy telling all the ones that you have.
Oh, yeah.
But nevertheless, there's so many. So.
But there's so many stories that when people go down there that they can actually come back and tell. But they can also, when they come back, they can get their congregations excited.
Oh, yeah.
To not just work in a foreign country, but to work in their own mission field in their own backyard, which we need to do that too.